Is there a way to get infinite content ideas for YouTube videos? And the answer is yes. You just have to follow these four methods I use for myself and for my clients. These will help you write what you have in your mind, come up with new content ideas if you get stuck with creative blocks, what exactly your audience needs to hear to make them think that this is amazing. And the final method is the secret that helps you target your customers for your sales and revenue, which will make you even more money. This will just snowball again and again. Best of all, this can be done in just a few minutes without using ChatGPT at all. The first method is writing whatever you want in your mind. Let me explain. The most YouTube business owners try to just be perfect, just be ideal, or write everything with AI. That sounds generic, but this method needs 5 to 10 minutes, just 5 to 10 minutes, and a pen maybe. You have all this idea in your head from experience. Now you want to write all of those ideas into a rough text. Your goal is to write everything into a note. You will not be focusing on the neat and clean structure because that's going to come later on in this video. Just write whatever you know and get those thoughts out into the text. This will help you to be unique in your own way because no one else had your experience and expertise that makes you different from others. The main thing is just get all of your rough ideas about the topic you have into the written form so that you don't forget it later on. But the key is from your own perspective so that you stand out to be unique from others. So that people don't feel like, okay, this guy is just copying the other guy, and other guy. But this is just the younger child version of the next method. Method number two. Now, this second method is even better. After you have started writing for around 10 to 15 minutes, you start to come up with even better ideas, even better examples, even better metaphors, analogies, all of those things. It's cool, huh? And I call this thing the flow state where your ideas just keep flowing in your mind. What you get here is you write some, you get more ideas. Then you write more ideas, then you get even more points, even more ideas. But how do you structure all of those ideas into the sequences so that your script flows like a river from top to the bottom, so that people don't think, okay, this is random, this point one feels random into the point four, or I don't know, this point five, it's random, it should be in the point seven or eight, right? How do you structure all of those into sequences so that it does not feel out of the order? It usually takes me around a few hours just in this part only, just structuring, okay, this should go here, this should go here, this should go here. However, I found a way to reduce those hours into less than 15 minutes. And I found it accidentally when I was just casually cooking and browsing. Life is mysterious. You don't know what you're going to get. I know most of you might be thinking, oh, he's just going to talk about AI and AI and AI. But you are half right and half wrong. Is what I mean. I use AI, but it's not ChatGPT or any other AI where you just use AI for general purposes, and it's not even marketing tool, because these tools generally lead to a review loop system. And you might have experienced this thing. You give AI to fix one problem, it solves that problem, or it gives other options, and then you have more choices than the thing you should be focusing on. Or it creates another problem, it tweaks something, it creates another problem. You spend time fixing the mistake you never had in the first place. But when you use Notebook LM, you can generate audio overviews, and this is the killer feature here that other general AIs don't have, the audio overview. But what does that actually do for you? It analyzes all the raw text inputs you have written earlier in the method one. Because it's geared towards synthesis and context, it generates a fully structured script outline from beginning to the end with the flow in sequence. It anticipates the needs where you are missing metaphors or you are missing examples. It even adds hooks, and it does that structuring in under 15 minutes. That sounds almost too good to be true, right? It is too good to be true because there's not a significant trade-off here. You might think the output is probably not perfect, right? Absolutely freaking not. It gives you almost 95% accurate structure. It also gives you a really solid first draft structure for reference instead of just staring at a blank page or that messy rough brain dump you had. The main time saving part comes from its dual functionality. The magic part is the structure it creates, it's immediately audible. I mean, you get the text outline and you can also hear it speaking it out loud, how it sounds. It generates an audio version based on the new structure, so you can listen right away before you have even finalized the written script. You know how sometimes scripts read fine but sound clunky or awkward when spoken, right? There's a gap, something is not right here. You might have some bad phrasing, weird pauses. However, this notebook alarm lets you catch that instantly. The bad phrasing, weird pauses, where you have to stop, where you have to shout, right? Where you have to increase your volume or speak slowly. It externalizes potentially 2 hours of structuring and maybe another hour of reading and tweaking for the flow. It just consolidates down all that in less than 15 minutes in just one step. Think about that. In just one step, click a button and you get all of that within less than 15 minutes in just one simple step. See the magic here? It's a huge time saver. And honestly, finding ways like this to save time like that is exactly what helps you scale your business. And I've been doing that with my clients for a long time. I'm giving away free calls for channel reviews, and it's only for first 100 people only. I used to charge people for these, but I'm giving it away for free for the first 100 people only. So if you want me to find other big time or growth blocker, which might be blocking you from generating more revenue on your channel, then is the link below. There should be a link in the comment or description. Now, the real pros don't stop there. That's just getting the foundation sorted quickly if you have just something on mind to write. The next page is more about strategic content planning. This brings us to the method number 3, using Notebook LM in a different way. Because this step will help you overcome that barrier when you have no idea. Okay, you have got title to write, but you actually don't know. Okay, what do I write? What do I write? What do I write? What points you are going to write when you hit that creative block or that crucial point you might miss otherwise. So what you will do is you will feed Notebook LM more than just your initial brain dump. You load it up with all your resources, PDFs, text, all notes, whatever you have saved, research transcripts, white papers, everything relevant, irrelevant, just dump it over there. And at the same time, you can feed the knowledge of an expert in your industry whom you look up to. Then you can ask really specific questions based on your goals. For example, you ask, okay, I'm making a video called 7 Script Writing Secrets. The goal is to generate leads for my product. What are the points that I have to talk in this video? Based on all those materials, what's the single most compelling point I should lead it? Because it have all that context. It doesn't just guesses like your normal ChatGPT, DeepSeek do. It points you to the exact source, like this paragraph in this PDF at this line contains this thing from this expert interview, and it points you to the exact source. That's what makes it much, much, much more useful because you know exactly what is the context around that point that you must state, which then leads into the highlight of the video, the most advanced step out of all these steps. Method number 4. Even most advanced professionals don't know about this method because it's used in startup world, the business world. So here it is, using AI from the audience's perspective. Here's what I mean. This is less about organizing your thoughts into the structure and more about looking from the audience's perspective for that unique pain point you have to find out. It starts with a super detailed persona prompt. You have to tell the AI exactly who should it be acting as, and hyper specific is the key here, not just any random person. You define demographics, income, interests, age groups, the location, like maybe they want to grow a YouTube channel or Instagram content or others at their experience level. They might be beginner, intermediate, or professionals. They might be working at banks. They might be working at Goldman Sachs. I don't know. Right? Something like that. The thing is, you paint a really granular picture of who you are talking to and what's your core audience, what keeps them up at night. So you build this detailed persona, your audience avatar. Then what you do is ask the AI 2 crucial questions. First, acting as this persona, when you hear my proposed video title, what exactly do you expect this video to cover? What comes to your mind? What topics absolutely must be in there for you? What are your pain points? What exactly do you picture in your mind? This directly taps into the audience's expectations. If the AI persona expects A, B, and C, but you only have A and B right now, then you know you are missing C. You know you have got a gap to fill, or maybe you need to adjust the title to manage the expectations of your viewer better. Smart, right? The second question is you ask the AI, still is that persona, your audience avatar, list the main pain points they have actually faced related to your video's topic. Now, this is gold for your hooks for making sure your content resonates with your ideal customers. But here's an extra layer for more accuracy. You are not just going to rely on the AI's general knowledge of pain points. You need the real world data that what people are actually suffering from. You need those pain points so you understand your audience even better. So you tell your AI to go find where your audience actually talks about their struggles. Maybe it's in Facebook groups, maybe it's in Reddit forums, maybe it's in YouTube comments, maybe in forums, blogs, some websites. You need those valuable resources and then tell AI to give the actual links to those discussions or summaries of what it found. It makes the insights way more powerful and specific because you exactly know who needs your service. You exactly know the pain points. You exactly know what to say. You exactly know what to target here. Now, this alone is not enough. You also need to know how to make money from those videos you make. You might say viral videos already make the money from the AdSense, or I have something course or something service in the back end to sell. However, viral videos absolutely do not make any freaking money at all. And this video shows you exactly which video makes money and which doesn't. So watch it there.